Hello, my name's Corlin Bryant. I'm here to start my speech. Here's my audience. Okay. Okay, today I'm going to speak on the issue of police militarization in high crime neighborhoods and why it is ineffective. A lot of people may think that increasing police and their firepower in certain neighborhoods might stop crime or might help stop crime, but it ends up just causing distrust between people, and also it doesn't address the root cause of crime itself. Because the root cause isn't because there's just extra police officers or like there isn't enough police officers. It's why people are committing the crimes and why they are forced to do such things. First, I'm going to go over the problem with it, the cause, and the solution. So first, the problem is, I've already mentioned, the distrust that it causes. In 2020, Louisiana State University did a study where they found that people actually voted that having more police in their neighborhood caused distrust between police and the people within the neighborhood because they didn't feel safe, especially with people walking around with highly militarized weapons like maybe like a AR-15 or like an AK-47. I mean, when people walk around with stuff like that, it makes you feel uneasy. And even though it might gain a sense of trust against another criminal, it's almost as if it's the same thing. You just see people walking around with guns. This problem also is caused by the Pentagon. The Pentagon actually started this when the 1033 program, where they took a lot of old military weapons and they sent it to high crime areas. And when they sent it to high crime areas, all the police had these militarized weapons. And this actually saw no decrease in crime in the neighborhoods. In the neighborhoods, it actually was shown that when you just focus police not on military and weapons, when you focus them on building community, there was a 40% increase. A 40% decrease in crime within that area. And I think that's just a big show that the problem isn't being fixed by just adding more police. The problem should be addressed, the root causes, which is my next thing, which is the solution, which is community. The community is why people commit crime. People don't rob you because they don't see a police officer. They rob you because they don't have money. They rob you because they rob a store because they don't have food. They don't rob a store because there's no security officer. So when you address the root cause of, hey, there's a lot of robberies in the area, so we help people find jobs, help people earn money, that would stop the crime rather than just putting a police officer there. Because if someone's desperate enough, they'll find a way to commit the crime. They'll find a way to get whatever they need by any means necessary. And it was also found that when police are militarized and they increase militarization, increase weapons, there is actually 64 more assaults and 64 more deaths on average and 12,000 more assaults. And that was done by the Journal of Urban America and Macera in 2021. And so when you actually add more police militarization, you see no decrease in crime, but an increase in violence from the police. So it almost just makes the cycle even worse by adding in more violence from not only our people, but also from the people that are supposed to be protecting us and serving justice. And the ACLU wrote that neighborhoods shouldn't be war zones. So when you add the militarization of police within a neighborhood, it almost becomes like a war zone, to where even people that aren't committing crimes may feel uneasy because they see those people walking around with guns and armored vehicles, like as if it was a war zone, as if the citizens there themselves are the problem and not the root causes. And addressing things such as food, jobs, and building the community has been the only thing that has showed effectiveness, because like I said, Princeton University did a study where communities were sent and they had sent militarized police, and there was no decrease in crime at all. And the only thing that has increased it was building communities. And building communities is things such as providing people with jobs, providing people with food shelters, food drives, providing people with opportunity, because people don't commit crime for no reason. They commit crime because of a lack of opportunity. If you don't have the right job, you're going to commit a crime to rob someone because you don't have money, and you don't think there's any way out of that, because you can't find a job. So you think the only way is to hurt someone else, and that is the root cause. And the solution of adding guns to it only, makes you can't fight fire with fire at the end of the day. And that's my speech on why I think police militarization is ineffective. I went over the problem and how it's caused. It was from the Pentagon and their first program sending, weapons over to different neighborhoods. Why it's ineffective? It's ineffective because it just causes distrust between people. And this was studied in 2020 by Louisiana State University. And so this distrust causes people not to trust police, which is something they should trust because that's their sense of justice. And then the solution, which is building community. The Guardian already did a study on that. Crime decreases 40% on average when the police money is focused on building community, giving people jobs, food, shelter, rather than more militarization and buying more guns. And thank you.